how far do you expand the hub marketing concept? My business location is a suburb surrounded by others in the Milwaukee area where driving is no big deal. My niche is boomer women rediscovering their identity after loss. The obvious is widowed and divorced, but includes retirement, identities, etc. As I expand, what do you suggest for market expansion within the region? Are you saying you kind of just been focused very narrowly geographically in this small area and you're thinking about,
Yeah, I started it to actually finally get off my duff and do something because I've been planning this thing forever. I started in one suburb where I actually have a physical space, and
yeah,
that's going pretty well. But when I want to get bigger and get more of a crowd, it's like how far out do I go? And also I'm willing. Milwaukee is a small town, even though it's a big city. So, like I said, distance means, in my opinion, almost nothing. I can go 20, 30 miles and people come to Brookfield or where I'm at, or I could go 20 miles away and actually create my program in those other suburbs, which is what I'm thinking of doing. Because it's very much about building community. And then we do a lot of fun stuff, but I also have a coaching program and such. But I do want to, I just don't want to leave it just in one area. So how far do you go? But people will travel. Now, this sounds crazy. Some people from where I'm at will find it, oh, gee, you're doing something up here? Oh, I'll go to that one. So there's that kind of thing because it's very easy to drive here.
yeah, how far do you go? I mean, as far as you want, really.
Yeah,
But the
without going
idea,
crazy.
okay, yeah.
Hi.
So is that part of the question is like
I
how?
think it's like how where do I spend my time? I've got it pretty narrowed down. I do know where my people kind of hang out, and my hubs are weird. My hubs are coffee shops, artsy things. I find people in the oddest places, and not I know where they are. So it's not that. I guess my thought is when I go to another area, do I try to get them to come to where my studio is, or do I then make that true hub and have collaborators in these other areas, knowing I'm eventually going to do a big event that will basically be for the entire region, like a weekend thing.
Yeah, up to you. Yeah, there's no both work. And I think that is worth really thinking through. Like, okay, if I do want to expand it, to how many areas? What can I actually bear? Because there is a breaking point where it's like, okay, you expand to three other communities. Great, this is fun. Five. It's pretty fun. I'm pretty busy now. 10. I can't breathe. 30, I have a nervous breakdown, something. So it's worth sitting down and just looking at it lifestyle wise of, okay, if I do it in other towns, how many afternoons or evenings a month is that? And I would look at it from a lifestyle standpoint and also including the driving time, even though it's not that far, but that adds, and then you just kind of look at it on your schedule and it's like, what's the right size for this? How many communities? And then it might be, okay, I will do satellite events in three communities, and then the rest I'll market to, but I'll invite them to come to one of so I'll do my place plus these three. So I've got four different places, and then everybody gets invited to those. And then I can still build connections with hubs, not in those places, but close to those places. And that can work.
For people out there. This is a niche that's been avoided. I mean, nobody pays attention to this boomer niche out there, and they're huge. If you live in an area with a lot of them, and they're bored, and then the burbs they will pay.
Yeah, it
It's
sounds like you're on track.
Yeah, basically, my one of my biggest problems, I know it sounds crazy, and I tend to go more for for lack of a better word, okay, I'll be honest on this group. I can't stand mega people. And to try to avoid them, that's a big problem. With me personally, that's why I tend to do the coffee shops and the arts and stuff, but I do get people who come to my stuff who think I'm crazy. But that's usually they leave. I mean, they never come for step two.
Well, and this can be filtering too. Is like in a welcome email or on the registration page, this stuff can be laid out to filter them out. Yeah, if you're, a big fan of Donald Trump, this is just not who
Believe
you are.
it.
You can just say it directly.
Now you ask them if they like Bruce Springsteen. That usually, they'll tell you. I've discovered that lately. Okay, so I like that idea. I like the idea of three places because I don't live in the community my business is in. So where I live is another one that's 20 miles away, and then just pick one other and then continue to build it because I love the networking piece, the hub thing. I love
Yeah,
it. That is
that's
so
great.
cool. If you haven't
Well,
done it, guys, do it.